I took a huge risk on this MacBook. Let me explain why. This MacBook came in for not turning on. So let's take a look here. We heard it chime. It seems like it's turning on, but there's nothing on display. So this customer took it to Apple, and then Apple quoted him a outrageous number. He wasn't okay with it, and they told him that you needed a few things done on it. He doesn't know exactly what, but that's where we're at. So he comes in today, or a few days ago, and he tells me this is his problem, and he brought in for a diagnostics. Now, I am thinking it's a screen problem. When I turn this button on, it turns green. That tells me it's on the input your passcode page. So it looks like it's working. You can't connect it to an HDMI just yet. After you turn it on, it is locked via firewall, meaning once you have an HDMI cable, it will not read it on a display, only until it unlocks the first time in that period where it's on. So after you turn it off, it's done. So I can't test it via HDMI. Now, the only thing that I could test here is a new screen, and that's where the risk is involved. So I got the screen. I ordered a screen from Apple, and why it's risky doing it from Apple is because once you cut this seal, we can't return this back. This screen costed me $700, and this is gonna be a $700 diagnostics if I'm wrong. So let's get started and test if my $700 risk actually works. This is the MacBook. This is the 14-inch, I believe. The MacBook A2442 is the model number. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure it is off. We'll look at the caps lock button. If it's green, it's on. Once that turns off, then it tells me computer's off. Okay, computer is off. So let's start. What I'm going to be doing here is just testing the screen that I got from Apple, and I'm really hoping it actually resolves the customer's issue, because if it doesn't, I'm stuck with a $700 screen until I get another person wanting this exact same screen in this exact same color. Apple did open this according to the customer. I'm really hoping they left everything the way it's supposed to be, and they didn't mess around or make any mistakes inside, because Apple be sneaky sometimes. We've seen some stuff with Apple, their technicians, they make mistakes and they don't tell the customers about it if they choose not to repair the computer, believe it or not. All right, pop the first clip. There it is, and the second clip. Okay, second clip popped. Now we're just gonna slide it to the right. Carefully, just like that. That tab has been pulled up, telling me that they did actually disassemble, and if you guys can tell right here, there are fingerprint marks, so they're not using gloves. Nice, Apple. Let's start by unplugging the battery. I believe on this model, you have to just unplug this first, then pull this back, and that's the main battery connector. Yeah, they definitely did open it. This is how you unplug this computer's battery, by doing that. Once this is lifted, it's no longer making contact with the battery. Now we can work on the actual computer. The objective here is to remove this antenna bar, the cables here, those screws, and pop this right off. So let's start off with this antenna bar. With this model, actually all MacBooks, be very careful when you're unscrewing if you're doing this for the first time and you don't have much experience in this. And the reason why is because you can easily strip these tiny screws. I'm trying to say, yep, those screws need to be removed. So let me just remove this one since I have this bit on. Make sure it's actually spinning. Yes, it is. Very good. Very small screws. If you rotate it once and you're on the wrong bit, you could easily strip the screw. So I'm applying major downward force on it just to make sure it's not stripped. It's a double-edged sword too. If I put that much force down and I have the wrong bit, with one rotation, really mess it up. And that has happened to us before. It sucks when we end up pulling out a micro Dremel and we create indentions on the screw, which allows us to use a flathead screwdriver to remove. I think we've removed all the tiny screws. I know this needs to be removed. Okay. Let's remove this. And we'll remove the shield. Pop off the cables. These cables are, by the way, very annoying to reinstall, so you'll see in a moment once we're there. Looks like Apple did unscrew this particular screw right here on the right. I see some scratching on the black surface of that screw. I'm sure there's an easier way to remove that. Sometimes I just have to fiddle with it a few times until I release that lock mechanism it's in. It's probably at a certain angle. Maybe this needs to come off first, actually. What else am I missing? Let's remove this. Almost strip that screw. Pop off these antennas. And let's remove that one. I think that's a T4. Now this antenna should be loose, yeah. So now we have this antenna removed. Let's put this aside. Let's see if we can now remove, yep, right here. Put it on the right side, and this one, left side. Okay, we have to unplug or just pop these off. And then in addition to that, we have this. This is called the lid angle sensor, which is the most annoying thing Apple has ever installed. If you don't replace this sensor when you replace the screen with a brand new sensor, the new screen that you have, even if it's original, it's gonna act as if it's aftermarket. It's gonna have some weird shades and squares on the screen. For an example, if you're on YouTube and you're watching a YouTube video or playing a song and you just decided to close the lid and move on, right? Leave the room or whatever you're doing, it continues to play. It continues to stay on. Your monitor is still on, as if the computer is not closed. It's not sleeping. Because of the sensor, your computer will no longer work as expected. And that's a big deal. We ordered a new sensor. That's how you're supposed to do it now with Apple. But that sensor won't work until you calibrate it with the new screen. And you only get one shot calibrating it. So if you mess up during the calibration process, you have to order another lid sensor from Apple and wait another 5-6 days until that sensor comes in. Hopefully we don't mess up. The sensor is the sole reason of Apple being Apple. This stupid sensor. Okay, so comes the $700 risk right here. The moment we cut open this box, that's it. Here we go. We'll just spend $700 with just one cut. Done. We just spent $700. So hopefully it's worth it. This is, by the way it's packaged from Apple when you order components from them. Just like that. This is the new screen. I don't think there's anything else in here. Nothing. We'll throw that away. Let's open this up. This is how Apple do your repairs too. Once you send it to Apple, this is exactly what they use. And this right here is the cables that I'm working on right now. I opened it just so I can take a look and make sure that these cables are in place correctly. Okay, put it aside. Let's remove these screws on the side. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I like to remove only 2 of the 3, holding down these hinges in place. So at this point, we've removed 2 screws on the right and left. We have 1 more screw right here and there. So what I like to do is I'll open it up just like this to the side. And the last screw at the very top I'll remove. And I'll remove this bottom screw. Okay, so all the screws have been removed. This screen should just come off easily. Unless if something is holding it down. Okay, there it is. The screen is off. And the screen has the sensor. We'll keep that sensor on, the old sensor. And let's put this guy right here, because that came off. Now, where is the new screen? Okay, so this is the new screen that we have right here. Before I install it, I do want to install that lid sensor on it. Makes my life a little bit easier installing it now as opposed to installing it later. And here is the second purchase I made from Apple, which of course they don't allow you to purchase the screen without the sensor. Why not just include it, bro? Apple's so weird. Okay. There you go. Once we cut this, it's ours. This I think costed about $15, $20. It doesn't even come with the screw. Nice. I like to send these YouTube videos to our customers, the ones that we do the repairs for. So if you're watching this, my man, just know Apple plays a very grimy game, and we gotta play with them. They're the owners of this game. So let's put back the new screen away, and then let's take off this screw right here from the old screen. Bro, it looks like it's stripped. Did Apple strip that screw? Y'all saw, I didn't even touch this screw. Oh, there it is, it's spinning. Okay. The new sensor, and let's take a look and see how we install this. It goes in a special orientation, just like that. And then let's screw this in. Okay, well, so that's how it looks after it's installed. Let's take back this computer. We'll make sure these are pushed out. Okay, as long as the cables are on the back, now we install it. First thing is first, we put back these 6, or at least 2 of those main big screws on the hinges. So the first one goes on top, and then we have 1 more down. All right, now we get to close the laptop and just reassemble and hope to God this resolves the problem, and also we don't mess up on the calibration for the sensor. That sensor is the worst thing that Apple included. Apple being Apple. We'll put this plastic piece right here. This needs to go like that. There it is. Same thing with this one now. This one has 2 connectors. And now we push the cables back down. Okay, we got 1 in. Good. This is the sensor. Connect that. That's been connected. Let's screw the sensor back in. Let's put back these guys first, right? Because we have to remove the antenna to install them. So install them before we install the antenna. It's a smart decision. That's just like that. And then we're almost done. These antennas need to be very delicate. Perfect. We'll screw in these last few screws here on the right and left. Put back 2 shields, and we'll be done. See how much work we had to do, and we're still in the technically diagnostic phase. Because if I install this screen and we turn it on and nothing appears on the screen, that tells you that we did this work. I mean, not technically for nothing. Now we know it's not a screen problem, but we did this work for technically, $700. So we ended up doing this work for pretty much just for that information that we know now it's not a screen. And if it's not a screen, it's a board related issue. It becomes very expensive very quick. So make sure that these screen cables are all plugged in right. I don't want to reopen this for no reason. Do our work right the first time. You know what I mean? Gotta give credit when it's due, honestly. The way the insides, the guts of their computers look, it's beautiful. Organized. There is not a single space wasted. This is the battery, the screw for the battery. Let's close this back up. This is the last shield, and now we're going to jump onto the praying that this works. If you're watching, please make your prayers for me. That's a big if. All right, are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? That's the real question here. Here it is. I am gonna close this up. I'm not gonna fully screw in all the screws for the back, but I will close it. I think it'll work. By now, if you've watched my other stuff, you know, I kinda take some risks here and there. Not on the customer's expense, on my expense. Are we ready here? What I'm gonna do, because Apple requires this, is to open up the diagnostic mode when we first turn on this computer. Here we go. We're hoping for 2 things. Oh, actually just 1 thing. First is just the screen turning on. So, all right. Bismillah. Keep holding. Oh, there it is. Woo! That gave me a heart attack for a moment. And we got the screen to turn on too, so perfect. We got the job done. So you guys are probably wanting to see how we calibrate the screen. Let's go ahead and show you how we calibrate the screen. First thing is we want to turn off and shut down. We're going to turn on the computer and hold the power button, just like before, and keep holding it. Continue holding for startup options. Loading startup options, you let go. Once the options load up, we're going to hold Command D. I'm not holding it yet. Okay, startup options have loaded. We're going to be holding Command D on the board. It says here, continue holding to start diagnostics. I let go. I think it restarts. Okay, it's restarting. It's probably gonna ask me what language. Yep, there it is. Okay, it's going to be on English. Changing your language requires the computer to restart. Do you want to restart your computer? Restart now. I do not know why it was on Danish. So as I mentioned earlier in this video, when we are going to do this lid angle calibration, we only have 1 shot in doing the sensor calibration. If we do it wrong, we have to order a whole nother sensor. I agree, diagnostic and repair. It's going to have me close the laptop for about 2 minutes. I'm probably gonna set a timer on my phone as well. That's what I did last time. We wanna make sure we get this right. Action required, click. Okay, so here it is. Click continue and close the display immediately. Wait 20 seconds and then open the display. So here's where it says, that stupid thing. Important, if a new lid angle sensor, LAS, was just installed and the display was not closed during this process, a new requirement, LAS, will need to be installed again. So stupid. We're gonna play a stopwatch for 20 seconds. Here we go. So it says click continue and close the display immediately. Wait 20 seconds and then open the display. We're gonna wait the 20 seconds. 18, 19, 20. Here we go. This happened one time where I thought it failed, but for some reason it didn't. I don't know what happened. It's very confusing the way Apple does this. And it's supposed to load into the computer now, but last time I did this, it loaded into the diagnostic mode. And then, yep, there it is. Don't know why it's doing this. And then I just clicked exit. It's supposed to say it's a success, but it just doesn't. Okay, so I'm gonna do just shut down. Did it work? It's hard for me to test. The only way I'm gonna test it is by closing the lid as much as I can without actually closing it, and I need to see the display turning black. So we can do that together. See how much time we spend just on the sensor? Okay, here we go. We're gonna test this and see if it works. So as you guys can tell, it's still on, and I'm closing it. Once we get very close to close it, it should turn black. Oh, there it is. Did you see that? And you open it up, there it is. Turns black. Perfect. Got the job done. Apple, I don't like that sensor. Fixture 700. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And for the second video in a row, I did not. If you guys liked it, don't forget to like and sub. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.